So, rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out.
What's going on? Welcome back to the Friendly Fade Podcast, episode 6 with Reem the Dream, Nubs, and Coquito Papi. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're feeling generous, tap that post notifications button so you don't miss a banger. Also, if you don't have time to watch all these podcasts as full episodes, make sure to check out those shorts. We're posting about 2 a day. So I know all of you got those short attention spans. So there you go. Just watch the shorts and you'll be up to date in no time. But I'm going to let Kareem take the first segment. And yeah.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Glad to be back for another episode. Man, so it was a pretty good NFL weekend last weekend. But one game stood out for me, particular, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. It was a Sunday night football game, Dolphins and Eagles. As a Dolphins fan, I'm pretty pissed off, man, because I've been hearing a lot from other people that the Dolphins are just frauds and they haven't beat nobody. And guess what? As of right now, I can't argue that because we really haven't beat anybody. But that's not even the biggest story of the night. The biggest story of the night was the penalties. 10 for the Dolphins, 0 for the Eagles. Not once this year have any team in the NFL played a perfect game. So you tell me the Eagles played a perfect game? No, we know that's not true because there's evidence showing otherwise. So what's going on with these refs, man? I'm getting really sick and tired of these goddamn refs. So before I go, I want to hear from y'all, and before I go off on this rant, because y'all know how I feel about these dudes, man.
I mean, I wouldn't say that they're totally ruining the NFL because I think most of the times, regardless of what's going on with the refs, the right team wins. But I mean, if we're looking at stats, like throughout the years, like it shows that we have an increase of penalties. And, you know, the refs are really making a difference in terms of the outcomes of these games. So for like instance, 10 years ago, the NFL averaged about 11.8 penalties per game, 97.3 yards a game. 5 years after that, 13.2 penalties and 111 yards. And now we're at the point where we're averaging about 15 penalties, 124 yards per game. So, I mean, that kind of gives you a good idea of how these refs have been officiating throughout the years and how they're affecting the game. So, I mean, I think it goes both ways, but I wouldn't say they're ruining it because I think usually the better team wins regardless. But, I mean, are they making a difference? Absolutely.
I'm going to go ahead. I don't know, honestly, y'all boys. I'm indifferent about this. It's a yes and a no to me, honestly. I've witnessed it firsthand. I know now you Dolphins fans have witnessed it firsthand. Now you know how we feel, but I can't sit here, just like when we discussed this earlier in that episode, we can't sit here and say that it's the ref's fault. Like Harry said, the right team ends up winning. So at the end of the day, it's a yes, no. I would like to see them not interfering, especially on crucial plays that can really swing the momentum in a game. And so at this point, I know, Kareem, you're going to go off on your plethora of videos that you probably have on this subject. So I'm going to let you have this. But at the end of the day, man, we can't sit here and point fingers at the refs if that's what you're going to do to justify your loss. So
I'm not going to sit here and justify my loss, particularly talking. We're speaking on the Dolphins game. I'm not going to say it was strictly in the refs, right? Because Dolphins made mistakes. A lot of the penalties that were called in the Dolphins were the right calls, man. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm disagreeing with is how you call 10 penalties in the Dolphins when those same penalties were being committed by the Eagles and the rest were swallowing the whistle. Like, bro, it can't be one-sided. So my answer is yes, they are ruining the NFL because they're doing stupid shit like this, to where they're overseeing one team. Is it because they were home and they were wearing their Kelly Green classics? It was a special. They're like, well, they had to win, right? Like, it's one of those things where, I mean, at the end of business, bro, it's an entertainment business, and they got to make sure that the right people win. So yeah, I'm gonna get on these refs every week if I have to. And we addressed this issue weeks ago when we were talking about the Jets and the Chiefs game when y'all got robbed, Nate. And yes, they swing the momentum of the game, and they can affect like when the team's moving down the field, like the Dolphins were. They had the momentum, like we were about to take over. We We just got a pick six. We scored a touchdown, tied ball game. We go down the field, and then boom, you're hitting us with penalty after penalty. Like, then how do we recover from that, man? Yeah, we're not helping ourselves by committing these penalties, but bro, give us a break. Like the other teams are committing penalties as well. Like they on the third down, Tua throws a ball to I believe Cedric Wilson, and dude clearly pulls a face mask, and the rest fat ass is standing right behind him, and he swallows his whistle. Right, so I'm like, bro, shit like this like really irks my nerves, man, and I have to speak out on it because these morning TV shows and these sports shows don't want to speak on it. Not sure why, but if I have the platform and I can speak on it, I will, bro. I'm sick of these motherfuckers, and every week I'm gonna come on here.
It's because the better team won.
The better team did not win. That's the thing, Nate. You can't say the better won because if the calls were being made on them as well, bro, this could be a whole different conversation.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. I agree on, especially on that face mask call. I mean, I don't know how more blatant. That's just like how the Sauce Gardner play ended up being, where the ref ended up throwing the flag after the interception.
After the pick. Like, exactly. Bro, like they're not even trying to hide it no more. At this point, like NFL, bro, just come out and say, yeah, we're rigging games. Like we want to make sure the right team win.
It's part of the script, Papa. You know this.
Like, bro, this is a joke. And like I said, it's ruining the games. Let the players play. Like, stop dictating the fucking games, bro. Like crucial times in the game where you're like, yo, we're gonna let these boys play. 2 minutes left in the game, tight ball game, y'all play. And that's what the fans want to see, in my opinion. Right?
Are you saying like as far as ruining the game? Are you saying this as of recent? Because I mean, we can go back years where we've said this. And I think we've even petitioned to have the referees speak on after the games, you know, so that way they can justify some calls or do something. Because why do players and coaches have to sit there and justify their team's wins or losses? But the referees that made those calls to, you know, those wins and losses end up, you know, costing the game. So, I mean, they should need to speak up on their behalf of like, yeah, I made this call. It might have been wrong. You know, hold yourself accountable. But there's no accountabilities with refs. So, you know, at the end of the day, man, this has been happening for years. It's nothing new. Games have been called. I mean, look at I want to say, was it the Des Bryant catch where he had it and it hit the ground and that changed the whole hitting the ground rules? I mean, the refs have been ruining the game for years, boys. It's nothing new. So I wouldn't say as of recent, but, you know, it is what it is. At this end of the day, you just got to push through, win these games.
Yeah, I get it, Nate. It's nothing new, but when are we gonna, like, as fans, when are we gonna say, yo, enough is enough? Like, these refs need to start answering to these calls or these non-calls.
I agree.
When are they gonna start being held accountable, right? Because guess what, Nate? If any of us here, if we go to work and we shit the bed and we don't perform to the level that we're supposed to perform at, guess what? We're gonna have to answer to our bosses, man. We're gonna have to answer questions like, hey, what's going on?
Unless you're a meteorologist. Unless you're a meteorologist.
Oh, that's
paid to be wrong.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. But realistically speaking, any other job in America or around the world, like, you don't perform, bro, you're out the door, like, you're gone. So why is it that these refs can do whatever the hell they want and then just walk away from the game as if they didn't just like change the whole trajectory of the season for a team, right? Like come on, man. Like, I'm just kind of sick of all this, and the NFL needs to fix it, and they need to fix it fast. Because eventually these dudes, they're going to have to start answering questions to the media.
You know what's funny is when I was doing my research, I saw that part of the problem is there's not really extensive training when it comes to these refs, because a lot of them are part-time officiating, which I was like, are you kidding me?
So, I mean, part-time officiating, getting buku money, though.
If this is happening, then make the shit either pick one, you know, full-time. That's their only option. There ain't no part-time officiating. This is what you do if you're going to do it, and that's it. And then, you know, implement some sort of, you know, training and refreshers for these refs, and whatever Nate said as well was a good idea. So, I mean, that's how I see it. But I didn't even know that some of these refs were officiating part-time, which is kind of ridiculous to me.
But I mean, Harry, you know, it's funny. The other part-time job that they have is officiating middle school and high school games.
Look at that. Like, see, I knew it.
Pro levels, like, you know, it's just crazy. But at the end of the day, gotta win these games, boys.
I mean, yeah, you're right. You make a good point, Nate. I get it. Like you can't always rely on the refs to help you, swing the game. However, but the refs can ruin a game. Is what I'm trying to what's coming down to. That they can swing the whole game and make a team lose, bro, because the wrong call was made or lack thereof. There was no call made. Again, man, they got to start answering the questions after the game. Like they got to get put in the hot seat and being held accountable is what it comes down to. And I'm sorry, but in today's world in 2023, we have video replay. So you can't be screwing up when you got video replay. That is not an excuse.
Maybe the best thing for the NFL to do would be make penalties challengeable. Maybe you can challenge penalties. Like, hey, how did you not catch that?
They're going to argue that it's slowing down the game.
I'm trying to come up with solutions, boys. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to come up with solutions. That's it. I mean, they tried it, though. Remember when you were able to challenge the
pass interference?
Pass interference.
Yeah.
They did it for a year. I think they cut that out because
they cut it out after a year. They cut it after a year because the coaches were challenging them and the coaches were winning. So they were exposing these refs for being garbage at their job. So the NFL couldn't have any of that.
Yeah, no, so fines for flops on calls, blatant calls.
Yeah, bro. Like start finding these fucking refs, right? Like and then not only that, how about we start doing a little bit more the vetting process for these refs needs to get better. Let's find out where these refs are from. If you're from Pennsylvania or anywhere near Pennsylvania, you're not reffing an Eagles game, my guy. It ain't happening. Like, let's start the vetting process. I'm dead ass, bro. I'm not even joking. Like, let's do some history because last year there was an NBA ref.
You sound like a real Miami Dolphin fan right now.
It's not about Miami. It's not about that. Yeah, I'm pissed. As a Dolphins fan, as a Miami fan, I am pissed of what happened last week. But I'm kind of using that as an example, bro. Because look, last year there was an NBA ref. Dude was from Boston. His whole family was Celtics fans, and it was all over social media. My man goes and refs a Boston Celtics game, and then LeBron got smacked in the hand. No call. And they come to find out, they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, this guy, man, like he's been investigated before in the past for like kind of like playing with the games a little bit. And then guess what? Dude retires. I wonder why. Come on, bro. It's not a coincidence. I don't want to fucking hear it. That shit is just not a coincidence to me. Like these things, these refs, they're human beings at the end of the day. Like, can you sit there and not be a fan of the game? If you're reffing the football, you're a fan of football, and you clearly you have a team that you follow. So do we not think about that? Come on, bro. Let's be real. Let's be adults here and think about this a little bit.
Yo, Nate, Kareem says, bring in AI, man. Fuck these refs.
For real, bro.
It's gonna happen. Shit. Hey, McDonald's, hey, they're getting rid of them fucking, counter people. Hey, refs, count your days. Your shit's gone in a few years. Watch.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
I do.
Hey, Kareem, king of these L's, bro. Getting these grayed out segments.
You know what's crazy? Talking about L's. You want perfect segue into our next topic, Nate. Who you rocking with? We were talking about last week about how we were concerned. Whose team was more concerning loss? The Eagles or the Niners? Guess who's right? I'm waiting.
Not you.
Yeah, damn right it was me. Damn right it was me. Yes, it was me. I was right because I was concerned about the Niners. And guess what? Now they're a 2-game losing streak, right? They didn't have Trent Williams. They didn't have Deebo Samuel. Christian McCaffrey was basically running on one leg. I don't want to hear it, bro. The Eagles won. There ain't no concern for the Eagles. So, again, another dub for me. I'm a hit with that Jameis Winston. We're going to eat some W's. Hey, that's Nate's dog. Yes, sir. Hey,
honestly, yeah. I will say you got us on, or at least I'll say I'll take the L on that one, bro. You were right. Trent Williams and Deebo ended up missing the game, which could have in turn been the reason why they lost that game yesterday. But I mean, bro, not yesterday, 2 days ago, but still.
It was yesterday. It was Monday night.
Still, I did say what I did say was that the Eagles were going to win. Did I not? That was my pick last week. And what happened? Which leads me to the next point.
We're arguing for the Eagles when he says they beat us just because of the referees, but then he's giving them credit for
bouncing back and not being
having it. If you go back to what I said, if you go back to what I said the Dolphins made their fair share of mistakes. it's not completely on the refs. However, the game was lopsided to where the refs gave the Dolphins 10 penalties to 0. That's what I was trying to get at. So please go back and watch the tape, Papa. All right, Nate, please take us to the next segment. Oh man.
You guys said it earlier. What a great weekend of games. Some great top 5 matchups, some good top 25 matchups, and some great NFL games, boys. Which leads me to the next point. We have our results for last week, which we only did 5 games, which you guys took, I believe, Alabama in the Tennessee game, which you guys were correct, and Ohio State against Penn State, which you guys were correct, and all of us took FSU, which we were all correct. Shout out to Nose. But we had some differences here, boys. We had some differences in the NFL games. And, to Kareem's point, the Eagles handled their own like I said they would. And cue that grayed out segment for Kareem, because that boy said that Lamar Jackson was a waste of money, like he said Joe Burrow was as well. And them Ravens won against them fraud-ass Lions, just like the Dolphins. I said it last week, boys. You got to prove you can win in this league against the big boys. And yes, the Bills, the 49ers, the Eagles, they're not built like they were last year. They're not a juggernaut. It's any given Sunday. It's any given Saturday. But let's be real, boys. You got to win. And right now, the Dolphins ain't winning them big games. And playing against anybody above 500, they're 0-2. And guess what? The Jets beat both of them. But we're gonna jump right on into our next category, which is our record, boys. Which we all went 3-2 last week, so it hasn't really changed. Harry, you sitting at the very bottom, Papa, 18-16. Kareem 21-13, and I'm at 22-12. It's a great week last week, boys. Some great games, but let's go into this following upcoming week. We got a slew of good games. We got a division game, and although their record indicates that they're ass, the Vikings and Packers at Packers, boys. Who you rocking with?
Ooh, for me, I'm gonna go Vikings, man. Vikings coming off a big win yesterday against the Niners. Packers have not been looking pretty good these past weeks, so it's gonna be Vikings for me.
I'm also taking the Vikings.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to rock with the Vikings. We're gonna agree on that one. This is Kareem's favorite team right here. We got the Bengals, 49ers at 49ers. Who you guys rocking with?
Ooh, that's a good one, man.
You better protect your tape. You better protect your tape, Kareem. You better say it right there.
Hey, listen. Check this out. Hey,
No.
listen. Bengals coming off a bye week. Joe Burrow's pretty rested. That calf has been looking good. They're getting better. However, the 49ers on 2-game losing streak. It's at 49ers, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 2-game losing streak. They're not losing 3 games. Give me the 49ers.
I'm taking the Bengals.
Ooh.
You're also taking an L.
Yeah.
Just because I need Chase to go off, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens.
I'm gonna rock. I'm rocking with the 49ers. I'm with Kareem on this one. Hey, boys, I wanted to throw this game in here because it's another division game. One team that's playing isn't that good, but they won last week, and the other one lost, who's supposed to be a good team. So we got Patriots, Dolphins, at Dolphins. Who you rocking with?
Really? I'm taking the Dolphins.
Dolphins. Dolphins coming off. They're coming off a L last week. It left a bad taste in our mouth. Again, the Patriots are not even a good team, so we should win this, right? Because apparently we can't win against big teams, so we can at least beat the shitty teams. So I'm gonna go with Dolphins at Miami. Patriots never played good in Miami, so yeah, a little game for us before we get ready to go to Germany and play Kansas City.
Yeah, Dolphins going to get back to swimming. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, y'all boys, y'all barely beat them last time you played them this year. I mean, get it? It was at Patriots. You guys won by a touchdown. They're coming off of a big win against the Bills where you guys struggled against. Actually, you guys didn't struggle. You got mollywopped. I'm rocking with the Patriots. Let's go ahead and switch things up.
You looks like you're rocking with an L as well.
Oh, wait. Cue up that potential fraud. Thank you. Them boys are next. Until you can, I ain't taking y'all for anything until you prove to that.
Yo,
yeah,
that's
you
not on the
can.
banner list tonight. That's not on the
That
banner
grade
list.
out segment is gonna look great next week. I can't wait.
You know what it wasn't gray on? This week, where I was right about the Ravens, where you guys were saying that the Lions were gonna whap their ass, but no, they weren't. And I was right about them Eagles, boy. So I don't know.
Every dog has his day.
Every dog does have his
Fuck
day.
them birds.
Let's switch it on up to NCAA, y'all boys. I picked this team last week, but this is a top 25 matchup. We got number 20 Duke at number 18 Louisville. Who you guys rocking with?
Ooh, I'm gonna go Duke, man. Duke, they've been good pretty much all year. And again, the FSU game, it was tight for a bit. And obviously FSU pulled away, but I think Duke plays well, man. They're well coached. They have a lot of good players out there. So I'm gonna go with Duke.
I'm taking Louisville.
Yes, sir. I'm with you on that, Harry. I'm rocking with Louisville in this game. We got a battle of the top 15, boys. We got 8 Oregon at 13 Utah. Now remember, Caleb Williams just lost to Utah last week, boys. That's your best friend. I know you guys are a big fan. Who you rocking with?
For me, I am gonna. Ooh, this is a tough one, man. Utah is tough.
One, bro.
Utah's tough. They play tough, and they usually beat good teams. And this is at Utah. Is this correct?
Yeah, that's at Utah.
You know what? I'm gonna go Utah, man. I'm gonna go with the dog. I'm gonna go with Utah.
Oh, Utes.
Who did you say they play?
Oregon.
Yeah, I'm taking the Ducks. Shout out to my dog Nick.
Curry. This one's a toss-up game, man. It's gonna be a really good one. But I'm gonna have to rock with Utah on this one, man. Coming off a big win against USC. I'm rocking with Utah Utes on this one, boys. That's all I got.
Yes, sir. All right. Hey, it was good, man. We'll see what the record stands next week. And see if I can take that lead from Nate, because that's my rightful place. It should be at number 1. But
yeah, but you're not. So
it's all it's all, I'll get there. No worry. Hey, but you know, Harry's gonna
I ain't worried. I'm chilling.
Yeah, we ain't worried about Harry's picks. But
I'm just super excited that you guys coming up November 11th and watching your team cop that L.
Damn, we're just gonna cop a bunch of L's this year, bro.
Oh man, hey Nate, like I said, get my jersey ready for me. Make sure that thing is nice and pressed. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that, man. But y'all boys, y'all know what time it is, man. It's time for that 5-minute fade. And this week, I wanted to address something, man, because this is something I've been seeing a lot lately. People like crying about tips, and the question is, should tipping be a requirement, man? What are y'all thoughts on that?
I personally don't think it should be a requirement. One of my biggest pet peeves is going somewhere and gratuity being mandatory. And I say that because I think gratuity is something that you earn for exceptional service and not something that you pretty much ask for right off the bat. Because I mean, if you have shitty ass service, then I'm gonna tip you very little. I mean, you can't just get paid to show up. You gotta perform. You gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta earn that shit at the end of the day. So I mean, that's how I see it. Just to keep it nice and simple for you.
I'm gonna keep it just as simple, Harry. I agree with you for all those reasons.
Damn, Nate! Wow, what a take! Oh, hot take of the week from Nate, boys. I guess we're just gonna have to all agree on this. I mean, no, we don't like you on this show, but for something like this, I'm gonna have to agree, man. Tipping should not be a requirement, and this is why. I've been to a lot of countries around the world, and I've been to restaurants, obviously, and I've been places where in the U.S. you would have to tip, and other countries they don't want your tips. Like they work off of a living wage, and matter of fact, they get offended when you try to tip them.
Yeah, it's an insult when you tip them.
Yes, they get insulted. Like they're like, "What tip?" No. So no, man. I think in the U.S. it's become this big thing. There's a video I saw the other day. A DoorDash driver, she brings groceries to the people that ordered, and then when she finds out that they didn't tip her $400 worth of groceries. When she finds out they didn't tip her, you know what she does, bro? She straight up tells them, "I'm not getting you groceries. You can go pick it up at the supermarket. I'm gonna drive it back to the supermarket." All because she didn't get.
I mean,
Bro, how petty? How petty is that? I mean, listen. If you're gonna be like that, go find another job. Because if you're relying on tips to live, then that's the job's not for you. All right. So you can't expect everybody to tip and tip well. All right.
So I want to make sure we have facts correct here. Was it no tip or was it a little tip?
It was no tip.
It was no tip.
Zero.
So
no tip.
So here I am with that. If it's no tip and you're no tip and you provided customer service, like you got to think about where this girl's. I'm not saying she's right. I think she was absolutely wrong for how she handled it, but I kind of see it from her perspective. She loaded all these groceries in her car. You know what I'm saying? She went, got these groceries, loaded them in her car. I think it looked like some Costco trip because it was all bulk items. So for a female, that's heavy. You know what I'm saying? And $400 worth of groceries, and you pull up and they don't tip you. That's kind of fucked. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they should. It should be a requirement, but have the decency to at least tip this young lady. I'm not saying she went around about it the right way, guys. She went around it the wrong way, but that's fucked up. And I would have been pissed too. Now, if they tipped a little bit and something, that's all they had, I understand. But don't sit here and ask for delivery and not tip. Same thing. Don't go to restaurants and not tip. You know, people are cooking,
especially for $400 worth of food.
Time of cooking and cleaning. You know, you pay for the meal and then you tip them for that. They're cleaning up after you. I'm not saying you got to tip them fucking 20% depending on the service. Yeah, of course. You know, if they treated you like shit, they don't even deserve a tip. But to load that heavy luggage in there and not to be tipped, that's fucked up. And that's where I would agree with her on.
Nate,
something different.
I completely agree. You're right. She went about it the wrong way. And the people that didn't tip her, they were wrong for that as well. Because for $400 worth of groceries, you can spare $5. Even if that's all you got, $5. I get it, man. Me personally, I would have given her a tip, right? But that's just me. Even though I don't agree with tipping, I don't like tipping. But I also understand in the U.S. in the culture that we live here, it's kind of like it's a thing, right? It's just what we do. And I understand, like maybe who knows, that little $5 could have helped her out somehow, right? Now with that being said, man, let's start holding these companies and these corporations accountable for not paying these people a decent wage, bro. All right, because why are these waitresses and waiters getting paid $3 an hour? Is that some crazy number like that? They're getting paid $253 because you're saying, oh, you're making up the rest with tips. What the fuck? What? What do you mean? That's ridiculous. And I'm sorry, but these employees that are taking these jobs, man, just understand what you're signing up for.
Well, I mean, if you're willing to take some people don't have any other option though, Kareem. You know, not everybody has the opportunities that, you know, luckily for us, we've been presented. And so, you know, unfortunately, some people do have to take jobs waitressing, maybe if it's a side gig or if it's their main job. And so we shouldn't knock them and say, you know, hey, why are you trying to sign up for a job like that? Like maybe that's all they can do, you know? And so I agree with you 100%. Corporations need to be paying these people a little bit more because you get taxed on tips on credit cards. You have to pay taxes at the end of the year. So yes, while you're making more money every single night because you're getting tipped, you still have to pay on the back end. It still comes out. So, you know, cash tips are king. Obviously, everybody would love that. No tax, shout out. But at the end of the day, you know, I just think tipping needs to be done if you go out. I don't think it should be a requirement because, you know, you should tip depending on your service. But I just don't think that's right.
Oh, yeah, I get you, Nate. And I'm not knocking anybody for taking those jobs because if that is the only thing available to you, then go ahead and go for it, man. But what I'm trying to say is don't rely on tips. Like that can't be like your end all be all. Like is what I'm trying to say. Like don't get mad at a customer if they tip. They don't tip. All right, keep it moving, man. The next customer might be a good tipper, and the customer after that might be a shitty tipper. And obviously, and I know plenty of people that work in the restaurant industry, that waited tables or whatever like that. And they've told me like, yeah, some nights I come out with like $300-$400 in tips. Some nights I don't. It depends where you work. It depends what the demographic and the area that you work. That all matters, man. But at the end of the day, like if a paying customer walks in and decides I'm gonna order all this food, and I'm not gonna tip, you don't get upset. That's just something that you need to be prepared for and be ready to accept. And that right. Just might be the case. Like I said,
if you go out and have superb, customer service, and everything was great with the meal, hot, everything was great, and you're not tipping, like as a waiter.
Me personally,
still like you gotta think to yourself, like, damn, what did I do wrong in that situation? And now you're sitting here like,
but Nate, like I said, me personally, I'm tipping.
If I'm getting 100%. But that's what I'm saying. If you ain't gonna tip, don't go out. If you're not gonna tip, if your intentions are not to tip, don't go out. Because, like I said, these people are cleaning up after you. They're providing you food. They're cooking for you. You have to tip. The meal alone does not cover that cost. You know what I'm saying? The meal price covers the price of the meal, getting that food. If you want to get spoiled and pampered like you're a little baby again, food coming to you and taken away from you and shit like that, like, yo, tip, bro. That's a service. You should go out expecting the tip.
Yeah, Kareem, you need to tighten up, because my dog Nate was in that hospitality business not too long ago. So you need to tighten up, brother.
Nah, I got out of that industry for a reason. He's 100% correct. That shit's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you hear what Nate just said? He got out there for a reason.
Oh, of course, I understand that. But like Nate said, man, if you know you're gonna go out and eat, and 100% regardless of the service, you're not gonna tip, stay your ass at home, man. That shit's crazy.
Or if you go to eat and then try to get any excuse to get a free meal. That shit pisses me off too.
Which plenty of people do, which is wild to me, dog. They be in that restaurant putting on a show for that meal, bro.
Show, my boy.
Wild.
That's a whole nother level, man. That's not even like, there's a difference between a bad tipper or somebody that doesn't tip versus somebody trying to get a free meal. Like that, there's a difference, man. Let's not confuse the two. But yeah, if you don't want to tip, bro, move to another country, because as far as I'm concerned, America's the only country I've been to where people are like expected to tip. Everybody else, they don't expect you to tip, bro. So that's just my 2 cents. And I've been plenty of places, man. So I'm pretty well traveled. So just saying. But any final thoughts, y'all boys, on that?
Mr. Passport, excuse us.
No, it is. Any final thoughts in before we move on?
Nah, I'm good off that.
Good, my good sir.
No doubt. All right, Harry, take us to the next one, dog. You got this.
All right, yeah, boys. I got the last 2 segments or topics for the night. So we're gonna start off with are men and women capable of having a platonic relationship? And Kareem, you get the floor first, my brother.
Oh man. Me personally, for me the answer is no. I don't think men and women are capable of being just friends. Just throughout my whole life, from what I've seen, I've never seen like 2 people. I mean, like I said, there's an exception to every rule, right? But majority of the time, I want to say 95+% of the time, usually there's always something going on. If it's not right now, somewhere along the road, I've heard stories. Oh yeah, they ended up hooking up, or something happened like that. But yeah, I just don't think they're men, especially men. Like we're just not built to just have a female friend, man. Especially she's somewhat attractive. Now she's like a 2 or like looks terrible. It may be right, and at that point, really, that's not even a friend, because you're not even trying to have her around. Let's be real. Let's keep it a buck. Because no, hey, it's just facts. I know some people don't want to hear it, but that's just my personal opinion on it. But like I said, for me personally, I don't think men and women can have platonic relationships and can just be friends. So,
I mean, I'm gonna agree, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of some from what Kareem says. I do think they're capable, but do I think it's realistic? Absolutely not. I mean, obviously we're capable of doing it. Like we have an example in front of us in which it's happened. You know what I'm saying? But 9 times out of 10, like Kareem says, there's something going on there. I mean, these guys don't put themselves in the friend zone if they had an option to not be there. Like the women puts them there. It's not their intention to ever be in the friend zone. So Yeah, that's what I have on that. And honestly, like from my standpoint, I just don't find a use in having a female friend in which I am not like dating or smashing or whatever. I just don't. There's no use for me to have a female friend. I have my boys for that. Like I have no interest in hanging out with somebody that I'm not smashing. It's just it is what it is. Like I don't think women are that interesting. I rather go chill with my boys, and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
That part. That part. Hey, he hit that shit right in the head with that one.
Shots.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with both of y'all boys, man. It's completely possible. It depends on the people, right? At the end of the day, like I have a clear example. I've had, ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing to the stage Miss Laila, who is my best friend, female, and she's here right now. Yep. And we've been best friends for about 6 years now. Laila and I, strictly platonic. We have never hooked up with each other. We've never even kissed each other. It's never been any interest of ours. We've traveled to multiple different cities and states. Shout out New York. We traveled to different cities and states together, slept in the same hotel room together, and not once have felt any type of way towards each other to do anything in that nature. Not to say that Laila is not my type or she's not anything ugly or anything like that. She's a beautiful young woman, but it's not anything that her and I see ourselves doing. I have that clear example here. She's going to introduce herself and take it away from here. But yes, I do think it is possible, but you have to be mature and not be young, dumb, and full of cum.
Wow. Okay. Hi. Like Nate said, I am Laila. We've been friends for over 6 years from a mutual friend, and we kind of hit it off in that sense of like the sarcastic vibe, kind of roast each other. But there's never been that romantic chemistry, no matter how drunk we've gotten. It's kind of just like he's an older brother. I know how it sounds stupid. I can't even like when we go out, I can't introduce him as my friend because off rip guys are like, oh no, this is my older brother. This is my older brother. We have the same mom or whatever. We always go with the same story because it's true with girls. We've gone out with girls. It's like, oh no, they're together. I'm like, no, this is my brother, or no, this is my cousin. We have to come up with something because people don't buy it. Unfortunately, yeah, like I get it. It doesn't look like it. And then when you see us out, we click so good and we just feed off each other's energy. So you would assume that, but that's not the case. I don't think your friends have to be ugly if they're of the opposite sex. Like Kareem said, I don't have to be a 2 to be hanging out with Nate. And then I also don't think like to have a friend around, you need them. Like, I guess it's like, if you're not going to fuck, then why do you have them? I don't think that either. I kind of like, like back then I used to have like a lot of guy friends just because girls were so full of drama and shit. So, I mean, I kind of lean towards the guy energy. They're more mature and they're always older guy friends. It's more mature, not the bullshit, straight to the point. They tell you what's up. It's not beating around the bush. So that's kind of like why I lean towards a guy relationship, like friendship. But I mean, that's my take on that. So,
and to Harry's point earlier, where he's like, what's the use of having a woman around? Bro, Layla's gotten me plenty of girls. So
yeah, I'm a great wing woman.
So I mean, to have a wing woman there, and it's easy for a girl to go up to a girl. A wingman's hard, to go up to a different girl. But if it's a girl, hey girl, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, yeah, my friend over there thinks you're cute. Wow, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's literally every single time.
And the queen of that. So yeah. I mean, now I make myself look bad, but it's not like that. But that's where a use can come in. I'm not saying that's a sole purpose though, but that could be.
No, I mean it's either like I've introduced him to homegirls, or it's like a mutual friend, or even like some random girl at the club. It's like, okay, that's what you want, I got you, and then that's kind of how it works, I mean, that's that. Nate did the same thing for me, more or less, like in New York.
And to be clear, like y'all dynamic works because y'all have been platonic since day one, but me and Kareem are simply saying that 9 times out of 10 that's not the case. So it's just it is an exception to the rule. Like that doesn't happen very often, and Layla's obviously a good wingman, but typically men are not in that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I see that too because like I spoke to Kareem earlier. I have had that friend where it's kind of like we cross the line and it's I mean, you kind of merge your way back to the before it all started, but once that crosses, it's just do you really want to be alone with them again? Because you don't know where it's gonna go versus just not even passing that line. Because once you cross that boundary, what's the point of really being friends like that?
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, yeah, once you cross that line, yeah, you're always gonna be like, damn. So do we expect like something to happen again? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I get you. It's weird, but like Harry said, you guys have been platonic since day one, so it works for you guys. So and again, I'm not saying down the line like something won't happen, right? Y'all say that's cool and all. That's cool and all. Like you guys are exception to the rule. But I've seen this movie once or twice.
No, that's not how my movie plays out. That's not how.
And to Layla's point earlier, where she says she has multiple friends that are guys too. Like I've witnessed it firsthand as well. I've met multiple of her guy friends, and we become real cool. And they've never even hooked up with Layla. And so there's more than just the exception. You just like I said, you have to be a mature man. Like know what you want. Like no, this person's not who I want to hook up with. But yeah, she can still be a person I keep around. Like, well, why am I not going to keep her around because she's a girl? Like no, that's fucked up. Her and I built our relationship off of roasting each other, just like all of us do. You know what I'm saying? Like her and I literally roast each other every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like one of those things. Like it could happen. You just got to be mature and a man at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not, oh, I'm friend zoned because it's not like that at all.
I was going to mention that too.
So we're immature and not wanting female friends.
No, I'm not saying, but when you have that mindset, like, why am I going to have her around if I'm not going to have any use to her? That's immature. But I'm not saying all men are like that.
I just don't see a benefit to it. That's all.
Okay, but I'm saying
I think that when it comes to those type of relationships, and not you guys, because again, you guys are an exception to the rule. But in most of these situations, the woman benefits more from the men because they go out with these men and they pick up tabs and shit like that. They run up their money and like.
I
Layla probably pay more for me than I pay for her.
You be paying?
This is how it goes.
Hell yeah, she paid.
Oh man.
If I'm buying shots, I pay. Come on.
Hell yeah, I make her pay. What the fuck?
I mean, but guess what? As you know what? It's probably most likely it's probably Nate putting his foot down and be like, yo, like, no, I'm not paying for you. Like you pay for your shit. Because Layla's
always been the one to want to pay for everything. I have to tell Layla stop paying.
Yeah.
Right, but if Nate was sitting there, and be like, yo, I got you every time, like, are you gonna say no?
No, yeah.
I wouldn't say no, Nate, I feel bad. Like that's literally me. I feel bad, I got it.
Yeah, she'll take like the first two, but she'll start paying after that.
Yeah, trust me, these tips out here are picking up these tabs for their female best friend.
That was another topic y'all talked about the other. I will pick up the tab if the guy can't cover it, just because.
No, I believe you, but most are not doing that.
Yeah, that's not happening. But Laila, you mentioned you have other guys, right? Besides Nate, these two or three other guy friends.
Okay, yeah.
Right, these two other guy friends. Let's say you were to call them right now, and you're like, "Yo, I'm horny. I'm trying to smash." What do you think? Genuinely, what do you think your answer will be?
Well, I feel like I'm trying to think. Okay, so the one that we haven't crossed the line, because I'm only thinking of two other guy friends besides Nate. The one that we haven't crossed the line with, I know he'd be like, "What the hell's wrong with you? Like, are you okay? Like, you good?" Like, I wouldn't. Those words would never come out of my mouth. The other one that I did cross the line, he'd jump on it like in seconds. But I've had to kind of, when we go out,
the one that you haven't crossed the line with, he's gonna be like, "Yo, are you okay? Like, what's wrong?" Yeah, any other guy's gonna be like, "That's kind of weird." You're gonna find it kind of sus, right? But if you keep pushing, they'll be like, "No, I'm fine. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, come over right now." Is he gonna say no?
Yeah, he's gonna say no.
No, oh no!
He's gonna say, "I don't see you like that."
You're gonna tell me Martin is not gonna say no, Nate? Martin would straight up be like, "No, you're tripping. Like, go to bed."
Yes,
he'd be like, "Go to bed."
Yes,
yeah, he would.
No,
honestly.
I don't believe it.
No, believe it.
Hey, and also this might sound corny, but another point to where Harry was saying was the use of having a woman around. I ask Laila a lot for advice when it comes to women or relationships too, and she gives me some great advice. Like if a girl texts me something, I'll screenshot it and send it to her and be like, "Hey, like." So that's another useful thing to have.
No, and he's even had problems where it's like, oh no, she's tripping over this or this, that, and the third. And I'll tell him, no, like we're girls, like chill out, give us our space, or try going about this way, or like, cause sometimes you guys don't really think proper. And he needs a girl's perspective.
My refute to that is women don't give even their girlfriends good advice. I'm gonna listen to the advice that they have on how to pick up women. Come on now, dog. Don't.
Facts. You bringing up that video earlier. You bringing up that video earlier.
Yo, and we're gonna have to run that clip. We're gonna have to run that clip.
Like I said, Layla's probably not like that, but
no, Layla's
women give bad advice.
That's a new day and age, women. How that is.
Yeah, you're right. Majority of women these days, yes, Western, modern women, yeah, don't give the best advice. I agree, Harry. But there are the very few, like, but again, that's like a point.
And Nate, you already have it on easy mode. So the fact that you have Laila, it's like Leia, bro. So it's like, it's like, yeah, she got you there faster, but you were already capable of getting there anyways.
Yeah, my man was already in the fast track, and now you got a little boost from Laila. Like, come on now, you don't need that.
I mean, I may not need it, and thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. But at the end of the day, we're talking about not just me, we're talking about in general, right? So it's useful to have a woman around and have a woman best friend. It really is. And, I've had great times with Laila. We had a lot of fun out doing random shit. But at the end of the day, it's not anything that is impossible, I would say. But yeah, I mean, most men, I would agree with our boys. Yeah, I would agree with you guys. It's really hard to be platonic, but like I said, from the get, or like you guys said, it has to be established from the get.
Facts. I agree with that.
I agree. But I'm gonna end it with this. Like I said, like I've been saying the whole time, you guys are the exception to the rule, and I've never seen it anywhere else. You guys are the only platonic relationship that I've ever witnessed in my entire life, because there's always something going on, or something. There's a past, or if it hasn't happened yet, it always ends up happening.
I know one more.
So far, you guys are doing great. What's that?
Sir Anthony has a female best friend too, and he says the same exact shit that Nate says. So it's like it's familiar as far as the uses. Obviously he's not your friend because he's using you, but that's what I'm saying.
No, it's mutual. It's mutual. I help her, she helps me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's funny, now we actually have a friendship. Like, it's more than just like what I bring for you.
Oh no, come on. That's what I'm saying. Like, I hope that didn't come off in a negative manner, because I didn't mean that.
I didn't mean it like that.
We done with that one?
Okay. Yeah. I think we're good on that. We hit it around the head, man.
All right, for sure. So I mean, we'll cap it off with this last one. I'm interested to hear what are the 3 traits that you guys are looking for in a woman when it comes to considering on wifing them up.
All right. Well, I guess my 3 characteristic traits of a wifeable woman would be, she got to be trustworthy, right? I want her to go to other places other than Idaho, but we got to build that trust. Man. I also love a confident woman, so I want a confident woman in herself. And this big one, I need an open-minded woman, not closed-minded, my way or the highway. None of that. It's going to be an open-minded It has to be open-minded in this relationship. So those are my 3 characteristics of a wifeable woman.
Kareem, before I let you go, go with your take. I want you to kind of elaborate on that last trait. What exactly does that mean?
The open-minded one?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I just feel like in a relationship, it shouldn't be one way or the highway, right? It shouldn't be, hey, I'm going to only do this and it's going to be this way. But you're going to listen to my, way. You got to be open-minded, hear me out, so I hear you out. The biggest thing in any relationship is communication and listening. A lot of people like to speak. Nobody likes to listen. You know what I'm saying? We have one mouth, 2 ears for a reason. We're meant to listen, guys. So At the end of the day, that's what I mean about being open-minded. I hope that clarifies it.
Yeah, that's perfect. Kareem?
Okay. Those are good ones, Nate. Not bad, man. But for me, I'm gonna go with loyal. Number one, gotta be loyal, bro. Number two, number two, gotta be able to cook.
Oh, God, bro.
You gotta be able to cook, bro. All right, can't cook, you out of there because I'm not cooking my own meals. You know, that ain't happening. Number three, low body count.
Why you pouring me? I'm right.
That's why I want a perfect woman, boy.
Single digits at the very least. If you're in double digits, no, ain't not wifeable in my opinion.
Damn, dog, you're gonna run the cat facts?
Yeah.
I got you, bro.
You gotta go through the vetting process. You gotta run the whole facts, bro. Oh man.
Oh my gosh, you guys are ridiculous.
God, that was great.
That's funny. I didn't even think you were gonna go there, but I like it.
That's to me, that's my perfect woman. And if you have those three traits going for you, you can't wife up.
I like it.
Okay.
My three are like Nate said. My first one was trustworthy, faithful, and reliable. Those are my three. You know, everything else for me when it comes to a woman is a plus. Like, she could be ambitious and has a great career and all this bullshit, but if she doesn't have those three, it's a negative. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not looking for a woman to take care of me at the end of the day. Like, so like your career doesn't mean shit to me. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta be trustworthy, faithful, reliable. If you got that, that's all I ask for, just to keep it, you know, nice and simple. Everything else is a cherry on top.
Wouldn't trustworthy and faithful be considered the same thing? Just curious.
They're similar.
And same thing with loyal. Loyal would be the same thing as well.
You need to be an NFL ref. Technicality.
Bro,
over here.
shut up.
Bruh. But it's sad to me that all three of us had to say trustworthy or honest or, you know, loyal or something like that.
No, that's
pretty sad
list.
nowadays.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Yeah, because again, like Nate said, like 50 years ago, you asked a man that question, and that's not even something they're gonna even think about. You're like, oh yeah, that's my girl. Like, of course she's loyal and trustworthy. Yeah. I don't have to worry about her, right? Yeah. And then nowadays, it's like that's the first thing people think about. Hey, what do you want in a girl? Oh, she gotta be loyal. Yeah, she gotta be trustworthy. Like,
bro, do you guys?
She can't be a hoe.
Do you guys remember back when we were in high school and we had to work our ass off, damn near drop an "I love you" just to get a picture of a girl in a thong? You guys remember that?
Oh my God.
All that work. Now you can go on Instagram and there's 40 pictures of her in a thong. All on social media, bro. Social media has changed that. That's 50 years ago, there was no social media. There's a newspaper, Papa. You ain't getting no girls on there. There ain't no pictures, no thong girls on there.
Bro, Nate, back in high school,
go on their profile, add them as a friend, and slide in that DM, bro.
That's it. It's that easy. Bro, back in high school, girls were writing me letters.
Right. We was writing the little notes, you remember? We were freaking putting songs as our voice notes. Leave me a message and then have freaking Mario playing.
Oh my God.
Shit, like smooth Papi Chulo shit, right? Nowadays, that's just non-existent. Like, tell me the last time you got a note from a dude. Like a meaningful note, like a cute note. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I know. That's like, well, I don't think
well, I mean, nowadays girls probably don't even want that. You know what I'm saying? But
probably
I mean,
give them a note like that.
I feel like there's some, like, that all goes back to which kind of girl it is. Like, some girls do still want that, like, you know, some girls don't. I used to be the kind of girl that's like, oh, I hate flowers, that's stupid, whatever. And then the last boyfriend that I dated, they kind of brought that slowly back in there because it has a meaning behind all of it. But it really depends on the girl. Like, if they've had their heart broken more than 3 times, they don't give a shit about a letter. You got to kind of work your way to that. But I think let's go with what Kareem said about the cooking thing. That's some bullshit. All right, because I don't cook.
What?
All right.
I'm disappointed.
I don't cook. I don't clean.
Guy there is.
But I got 2 master's degrees.
Oh, man, what the fuck? Did you hear what Harry said?
Yeah, but we're not there yet. We're going with you first. So
Okay.
I get that, but it's like, what if you're home more than I am, and I'm working more than you? So why can't you cook for me?
That's already not working out.
Why?
That's already no go for me. Because if you're working more than I am, that means I'm not bringing enough money, and that means you're the breadwinner, and that ain't happening.
But what if my degree just allows me to be more of a breadwinner? Like that's not fair.
No. I mean, once I'm retired, and then you're making more money than me, that's fine. That's perfectly okay because I've worked my ass off for however many years, and I'm able to take that retirement and go about my business and just collect my retirement pay. And then you bring in the bread, the money at that point in our lives because I've worked towards that. I was able to put us in that position for you now to be able to kind of lead a little bit. I'm not saying you're going to wear the pants in a relationship and you're going to take over the household, but at least now I'm giving you that kind of like that leeway of, hey, cool, I'm retired now. I'm taking a back seat. You go ahead and you bring the money in the house and you kind of focus on your career. But that's not happening from the get. Like you're not bringing more money to me, and you're not controlling the narrative in our relationship as far as when it comes to financials. Because at least the other things, and that's just not happening.
So the breadwinner controls the narrative.
Yes, always.
So why can't she be a breadwinner and you control the narrative?
That's just that, Nate. That just doesn't go hand in hand, bro. It's not happening.
How you gonna
tell a girl? How you gonna tell your girl that makes more than you? Hey, you need to do this. She's gonna look at you like, what? Like, no. I'm bringing. Hey, you take.
He's right. Okay. He's right.
All right. So then,
am I lying?
You're right. If I'm bringing more money than you, what I say goes.
Thank you.
What the hell?
Okay. No, but if roles were reversed, and Laila, this question is for you now. If Kareem's bringing in if he's the breadwinner, are you gonna listen to him because he's the breadwinner, or are you gonna be like, no, bitch, I can do my own thing and fucking?
No, do I get to stay home and not have to work my ass off? Yes, papi, I listen. What the hell?
But that's where you're at. You're gonna be making all that money. All
right. If he said he's making the money, I stay home. I learn how to cook for you.
Damn.
The problem is they want both these days. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to get at. Nowadays that's rare. That's the 50-year-old thinking. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I agree with you though. I mean, I would want my girl to stay home. I would want to be the breadwinner. I don't want her to work. I want to provide that lifestyle for her. I'll pay the bills. You probably catch the cable bill, but that's about it. But at the end of the day, we're in a generation, like I said, where you go on Instagram, there's social media, there's thong pictures. Those women nowadays, they don't want you to fucking provide for them. They can make all their money on OnlyFans. They don't want to be told what to do. So.
Yeah, and that works.
I'm looking for anyway. So,
but that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But go on, Laila. Sorry.
Nate, when you mentioned what was it? They had to be confident. Confident. So if your girl's not like full confident, like all up in her, that's not. But I feel like that's not like wifey material. What if they're just so full of themselves that they could give a shit about you?
No, there's a difference between confident and cocky, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? There can be a confident woman in herself. I'm looking for a woman that's confident in dressing business professional, business casual, not out here confident rocking a fucking thong bikini showing off her BBL. Like there's a difference between confidence, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if you can cover up and be confident, that's the woman I want. Okay. If you're confident because you're shaking your ass and throwing it back and getting 300 DMs from guys that are thirsty, that's not the confidence I'm talking about.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Go after Harry. Damn, why are you coming
after? No, because Harry's were kind of the same. Everybody had the loyal thing. Everybody had the loyal.
So do you agree then? Don't you think that's sad nowadays that we have to put loyal in there?
Yeah, it is. Of course. Because you'd be surprised how many people's like, oh, like it's not really a thing, so we're not I don't really have to commit to you. And it's so many people, it's ridiculous, honestly. Like when I talk to somebody, I kind of just want it to be me and that person, but that doesn't exist anymore. It's me and competing with whoever else you have in your world.
always competing.
I'm the only one to you, but then you've got 40 bitches,
You ain't competing if you living in Kansas or Idaho. I promise you that.
Oh,
You living in the whole city of Miami. Unfortunately, you know.
That is why I date outside of Miami. I don't date anybody here. I dated Virginia. I dated Orlando. I dated New York City. I don't date Miami. I will not touch this. It's disgusting. I can't.
Miami, home of the BMW Miami Heat license plate and $40,000 a year, millionaires.
Literally.
Yo, Nate, just to kind of add to that whole topic that we were talking about, though, what's crazy for me that in my situation, even if I wasn't the breadwinner, she wouldn't be paying more than I would be financially. So I wouldn't allow it. So it doesn't matter. Like that's gonna fall on me regardless. And if I'm not making enough, then that's gonna be on me to fix that. But regardless, I'm not gonna have my girl pay more bills than me. Regardless if she makes more money than me. It's not happening.
Yeah, like Laila says, man, like the girl makes more money, has more control, more power, and she's just like anything you ask her to do, you tell her to do, man. She's not gonna respect you. At the end of the day, girls might sit here and tell you, "Oh yeah, it doesn't matter."
Why is she in a relationship with you? She can't respect you.
And it's the politically correct answer. I get it, but they're full of shit most of the time.
Yeah, stop bullshitting, man. I mean, Laila, I love that you're honest, and that's what we need to hear. Like,
yeah,
she's good at staying at home.
Yeah,
but what is it exactly that you guys like? For example, if you didn't make the money and I did, what is it exactly you want to control? What could you possibly want to control?
Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't be in that position to begin with.
No, Laila, there's nothing like in particular that I want to control, but it's just the little things. Like when you look at like a family, right, and you got the man of the household, you always look at the male figure above at the top of the household. Am I wrong or right?
No, you're right.
Okay, so that's the thing. As the head of the household, the male typically calls the shots. Hey, this weekend we're doing this, and then the wife, okay, yeah, that sounds great. Like the man, we lead.
Feminism.
No. The men lead in a relationship, in the family, in the household. So, and typically the man is the one, like in a regular, normal house. The man brings in the money, even if the wife's working. She usually is not making more than him, and he usually has control of the bigger bills. So he pays the mortgage, he pays the car notes, and then he'll leave her with, hey, you got like the power bill and the water, and something like that, just to kind of help out and just like empower her a little bit. Be like, hey, you're contributing to this home.
Yeah.
As a female, as a nurturer, as a mother, like you have your role that you play. But as a man, our role is to lead and to provide, and let us have that. When you take that away from us, then now we feel emasculated. Like you took away everything from us, and that's all men are asking for.
Good point.
Doug, just put on the dress, Papa.
No, no, and that totally makes sense. Because I was talking to Nate about it. It's kind of something like it's called the daddy energy or the daddy vibe. That you guys step into your masculine role and we kind of step back, because unfortunately a lot of like women, we have to kind of like take over not you guys, but like a lot of guys like run their shit because they're not doing it. Like you're not protecting what you're supposed to protect. You're not being the masculine role or whatever it is. We have to step into our masculine side, and that's not what we want. We want to be feminine. We want to be taken care of. We want to be catered to. Sometimes we have to fucking do all that shit and then some. So that's why we get that like independence. That's why you'll find those girls that are kind of like they come off tough and like hard-headed and shit. But it's because they've dealt with niggas that don't provide. Like
they're soft basically, because typically females and I say this in the most respectful way. Like when a girl's acting up, you need that man to put his foot down and be like, "Hey, get your shit together." And I'm in a very respectful way. And you girls love that. You guys are attracted to that. When you see a man, be masculine and be like, yo, cut that shit out. Like you guys, like you said, you see that and you take that step back and you're like, oh, daddy, like, yo.
Yeah, like,
say less. But then when the female has control in a relationship, it's cute for like maybe 5 minutes and she likes it. But then she's going to realize like, damn, this dude's soft. Like this ain't, I need a masculine.
And then that's what happens. You start you start looking. So the moment that that's not what you want anymore, personally, I leave before it gets to that point because I just don't like to. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I start to be like, maybe that's not what I want anymore. I want something like the masculine role, like, oh, he does that for her. I kind of want something like that. And you start looking for something else because you're no longer getting that.
And that right there is the exact reason why social media has ruined everything, because we expect the most and we can't get it. It's not reasonable. You know, like you look at relationships on social media and you're like, oh my God, I want that relationship. And when your man ain't giving you that type of, you know, stuff that you see on social media, now it's like, oh, well, now I want somebody else that's actually going to do that. Let me go venture out. That's the problem right there, because you see things all the time that you want on social media and your man can't provide it. Maybe he's struggling at the time, or maybe doesn't have a good career, or whatever the case may be.
But it's not even that, because there's sometimes you can't even, okay, so we can't even use that as an example for me, because I've been the loyal part when the guy hasn't had the job, when the guy hasn't had like his money in, you know, so I've stuck through it all, but there's other things you can do besides that. You know, sometimes I get it. Like, we got to ride it out until it gets better. But if not, like, you got to still try to put your masculine role in something else.
And you can tell the difference between somebody who's not going to have that motivation to go get better and somebody that does, right? I mean, if you're sitting down, not doing anything, I've told you multiple times to go out there or I'm going to leave, then that's on him at that point, right? But if he's out there trying to grind and do what he needs to do to fucking provide and shit like that, there shouldn't be a thought in a woman's head. I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying in general, there shouldn't be a thought in a woman's head that I want something different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not all men are leaders. And that's just the reality of it. So a girl ends up being with a dude that's not a leader, and she realizes that after the fact, like, she's gonna step out. She's either gonna step out on him and go find a dude that can put her in her place and that can actually lead, or she's gonna leave. Like you, Laila, like you said, you would actually leave. However, these days, a lot of these women, they're like, you know what? I'm just gonna entertain 3 dudes. One of them is masculine. One of them got a good job, and one of them is very sweet to me and pampers me and gives me like the romantic shit. Because a lot of times you're not gonna find a man that has all 3.
All
right?
3, yeah.
So exactly. So y'all are gonna wanna like little dabble a little bit here and there. But for me, I'm gonna stick to what I know, and that's just naturally. Like, you can't teach a leader. A leader's a leader. Like, you're just born that way, right? So and the reality is, a lot of women just want that. The rest of the stuff, the being romantic and being sweet to you, a lot of women will choose to look past that and will stay with a man that can lead and bring money and provide.
It doesn't mean that you can't be a leader and not still provide in that aspect.
Yeah, that's another thing. So you can have that. Yeah, you can be the leader. You can put me in my place, because I've had that also. And you can have that daddy role, but then not have the financial part because of whatever is going on. But you can still make up for it doing the sweet things. If you know that you can't buy me expensive shit, make up for it with action, love. What is it called? Love actions. I can't think of the word. But when they cater to you, the cooking, or they'll make sure they make the bed, things like that, like those acts of love. Thank you. I was thinking about it. I know you guys talking shit. But
you want to know what's funny is that, all right, so back to the whole providing thing, because to Layla's credit, a lot of men 100% aren't providing. So like, I don't expect them to stay around if they're not doing that. So like, I don't blame her for it. But when it comes to the whole providing thing, like, if you're a guy who's going through it financially, most of these women, again, not saying Laila, they at first they'd be like, okay, I'll hold it down, but tell me for how long they're gonna hold it down for you. It's not gonna be forever, but when the roles are reversed, we'll hold it down for them forever, because that's what we do is provide. You know what I'm saying? And the women is not gonna hold you down long term. So you gotta understand that shit, not be a bum. Period. Yeah, and again, I don't blame him for doing that shit. I don't.
No, yeah, bro.
Because if I'm in that position and I'm not getting what I want from the dude, then I'm out. Like, it's just natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't blame him for that, but I'm just saying that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
No, and if we don't see you trying like that, and I'm telling you, hey, let's do this. Hey, how about you try looking into and over and over and over again? Like, at this point, bro, I'm just mentally checked out. I gotta go. Like, you know, it's not even fair.
Yeah, that's the natural order of things. And like Harry said, we don't knock you for it because it just is what it is. But men need to be smarter and understand, like, yo, if your girl's carrying you right now, you better make that shit switch quick. You better make a change happen really fast if you're gonna keep her around. Like, she'll hold you down for a month, maybe 2, and after that, bro, get you a job. Like, make sure you're the provider and make sure you're the one taking care of her, because it's not gonna last very long, dude. Like, she's gonna get sick of your shit, and yeah, it just doesn't happen very often. Yeah, but one last thing before I end, because since later wanted to pick up my traits. Is it fair? Do you think it's fair for a man to ask for a low body count from a wife?
I can't speak on that one.
No,
okay, no, I get it, but then how? That's not fair. You like, how do I phrase this without sounding like really dirty? You shoving your dick in every other bitch, and it's like I gotta keep my body count low. That's not fair. You walk around. That's not fair.
Okay. You know what? We'll save that. That's a question I'm gonna save for another episode. We're gonna bring Laila back because I want to hear your thoughts on that for sure. But
because Jesus Christ, I was gonna go on for forever on that one.
Yeah. So we're gonna save that, man, and when we're gonna cut it at this. We're gonna end it at that. Again, any final thoughts before we go?
I'm good.
I'm okay.
Last thing I got is, as always, go Jets, go Seminoles. Thank you, Laila, for coming on here. We truly appreciate
Thank you, guys. I appreciate
it. Basketball season's here. New York Knicks, let's go. Laila, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. The boys appreciate you. We truly appreciate your opinion, because I think that's what we were truly missing on here, was a female's perspective. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Anytime, boys. Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, like Nate said, thank you, Laila, for coming on. We look forward to having you for some future episodes. So obviously, if
you let me know about the body count one.
Oh, you're the first one we're calling. Don't you worry.
Harry's writing his notes down, boy.
There's no notes to be written. That one's already here.
That's a topic that I really want to touch on, because that's something that it's important to me. At least for me, it is. But again, I'm not going to go.
Every girl goes through a whole phase, though. You don't think so?
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that. Hey, like I said, Nate, it's a wrap.
I'm with you though. I want a low counter, baby. I want a low counter.
Yeah, we all want a millionaire too, but we can't.
Having a low body count. Only allow her to go to Idaho, she'll have a low body count. So we're good.
It's true, yeah.
Anyways, man, let's get this shit out. Again, thank you, Laila, for coming on. We hope to have you in the next few episodes. You're welcome back anytime. Nate, I love you, bro. I hate all your teams, but whatever, we can look past that. And Harry, as always, we got you. Harry, tell the audience when you're competing.
Yes, sir.
I'm about 19 days out. It's going to be November 11th at Lake City, Florida, and then we'll head over to Tally. To the nasty to chill at Nate's crib. So I mean, it should be a good weekend
for sure. And we're planning to do an episode, all of us together in the same place for that weekend, man. So be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be a special episode. We're gonna be in the same spot.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So I gotta bring my shit,
man. You said what?
So I gotta bring my shit then.
Yeah. We got to bring the equipment. We'll have it set up right now.
We'll talk about it later.
So it should be a good time. But yeah, again, thank you all for watching. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and comment down below on everything we just talked about. It was a lot, but it was some good stuff that we hit on. And obviously
start commenting on body counts, everybody.
Yeah. Hit us up. Hey, hit us down below to comment on the body counts. Like, what do y'all think? Is an acceptable body count for a female, and is it reasonable?
A rough average.
A rough average. And is it reasonable for men to ask a female for her body count before the relationship moves any further?
Oh, damn, you got descriptive, my guy. Damn.
This is just coming off top of my head. But yeah, anyways, man. So thank you again. Thank y'all for watching. We love y'all and see you on the next one. Peace.